Hey guys, welcome back to Adventurecruiser, and today I've got a little special treat for you. I hold in my hands the unplugged phone. This is an Android-based phone that is devoid of any marketing tracking. And I hold in my other hand and on my desk my APX NEXT. Now, these have something in common, which is both can be used as an Android phone. The APX NEXT, however, is designed for public safety level encryption. And when I say public safety level, that can be one of 5 to 7 different encryption languages, and that's not something I'm really going to get into today. But my point is, when these are set to be very fiercely encrypted, they are very difficult to break, nigh impossible. However, there could be a fatal flaw with this, in my opinion. I have a concern that if you can use this as an Android phone, is it hackable? And could a nefarious character listen to the transmissions by hacking the phone, not the radio? I, again, am not an Android guy, but I've talked to a couple guys in computer security, let's call it. And they say, yeah, it is possible to hack an Android. Yes, it's challenging. Yes, there are safeguards and all this. But in the 3 different people I interviewed, they all said that an Android would be easier to crack than AES 256. Neither are impossible. But if we are trusting our public safety individuals to do very specialized things, and my goal with this, just to be clear, is not to share anything or suggest anything negative. My goal in this is simply to share a thought and see if it's a valid fear, or see if this is something that should be addressed and fixed. But run with me for a minute. My thought is, if somebody could hack the Android-based system in this radio and plant a bug to listen to the transmission spoken by the operator as well as what's coming through the speaker, I feel like that is a massive security breach. Don't you? I mean, there are bad actors all over the world. And some of them are unfortunately very clever and very capable. But I'm just worried that when we are putting the infrastructure of our public safety in the hands of a cellular system that has the ability potentially to inhibit radios, I feel like we're getting away from a little bit of the potential security that an encrypted radio affords. You know, using a BKR 9000 or an APX 8000, not connected to the cell phone service or not connected to Wi-Fi, to me is a far more robust and secure way of communicating. Am I way off track here? Is this a valid fear? Or is there something to this? Is there something to being more basic if you need security? Let's talk U.S. Marshals, for instance. U.S. Marshals, they've not been in the news for anything negative, at least not that I can recall, but they also run high threat apprehensions. They're going after bad guys who need to be put away. If a bad guy has broken the encryption on their radios, that's a problem. But that's really hard. But if a bad guy has broken the encryption on an Android and somehow find somebody on the team and can plant that bug, I don't know, I'm off in left field, I get that. But I fear that that could place a false sense of security on a team and put guys in risky situations. You know, if you have a SWAT team breaking into a building to carry out a felony arrest warrant, and they have all the confidence in the world believing that their communications are encrypted, they might say some things that could put them in jeopardy. I just fear that that's the direction we're going. Now let's go a different direction. Okay, so that's audible cracking. But if your entire radio system is connected to a central server that has the ability to reprogram and wipe a radio, not just inhibit, we're talking reprogramming. And I know that's been around with the 8000 and the 6000 and even the 5000 to some extent for a long time. But I've worried about this. Are we putting ourselves in a precarious situation? Now, I would love for one of you to come back and say, hey, guess what? I'm the administrator for such and such. I don't care what department. And well, your statement is potentially logical. It is completely impossible because of safeguards that we have in place. I'd love to have one of you guys tell me that. That would make me really happy. I just worry that we've seen so many random things. 14, 15 years ago, there was a major power outage in Southern California that lasted, I think, 21 hours because somebody flipped the wrong switch in Arizona. And if that could take down a digital system, we're in trouble. Now, granted, there are a lot of departments that have fallback and all that fun stuff. But if your radio is digitally controlled by an LTE signal, what could keep that from getting cracked and hacked? I don't know. So I would love for this just to be a discussion starter. Leave your comments and thoughts below. I could be totally off base, and I'm okay accepting that. I'm just a curious guy. And when I started playing with this, my first thought was, one of the reasons why I've stayed away from Android and gone Apple is because I feel like while they both steal information, Apple is stingy with it and Google would rather just sell it. It's my opinion. It's not necessarily fact, that's just my opinion. But if all this information can be compromised, are we setting ourselves up for a massive failure? I know it's a little different than my normal videos, but let me know your thoughts. Thanks. Have a great day.